Hey, 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 I'm Michelle.
And I'm Gretta.
We are girlfriends who have always been seekers. We love learning, sharing, and most of all, we love having those soul-to-soul moments with our girlfriends.
Our podcast is about spiritual connection and sisterhood. You are not alone. So grab your glass, get comfy, and join us as we make some noise, light up the room, and
Get into it.
Hello to all our listeners. Thank you for following us for our first year of this podcast. We wanted to come together and share with you all a little bit about our journey, things that we've learned, mistakes we've made. It has been quite a ride.
Girl, yes, it has. I mean, down to technology, to guests cancellations and getting sick and all the things that life just kind of throws at you.
Yeah.
When you're in the midst of trying to do something really fun.
And completely new and foreign to both of us. Yeah, I do think the technology was our biggest hurdle, and we have come a long fucking way. And I'm really proud of us.
Dude, I think about it and I love telling people that like one of our first recordings, we went on for like an hour and only 10 minutes got recorded because security shit, you know? I mean, like things that we're not thinking about.
No, we thought we did a fucking awesome good job too. We were so proud of ourselves. And then there was this moment of like, no, we didn't only get 10 minutes.
What just happened? And then we thought we'd be really amazing and do some Zoom recordings. And we had one that was awesome. And guess what? We got no recording from that, no audio, nothing to work with.
Yeah, that was kind of recent too. So I guess we have things to learn. But you know what? We are growing. We have come a long way. This all started from a girls' trip in Idaho. We were visiting a friend that moved away, and on a late night, Michelle started interviewing our friends.
I had no mic at that time.
Well, you're probably using a wine bottle or something.
That sounds right.
And I quickly joined in. And so it began. And one of our really good friends said, you guys should do a podcast. And it was a little secret of mine, always wanting to do something like that. So just a little spark. And there it went. And here we are. And you, our listeners, our devout listeners have been just so amazing. Standing by our side, following us every step of the way, listening to every episode, sharing with your friends and family. We are just so grateful, beyond grateful.
We are, because, you know, we come forward with a bit of a vulnerability and really sharing our hearts through all this, and the people that we select and ask to come be part of everything. It's really kind of getting into these conversations that are so meaningful and deep that we want to share, but you're really getting into our souls. And so we are so grateful that you're out there and that you're tuning in, and that we're also getting people asking for more.
Yeah.
Which is one reason why we've decided that for 2024, we're going to do things slightly different. We still have content coming out. We've got lots of video now that we're trying to record.
We are really trying to get on YouTube for y'all.
Right. We want to keep growing and learning with everyone that's out there. But yeah, we also decided that it was very important for us to take a little bit of a break this end of the year and spend more time with our families. And we still want to do all the things podcasting, but like any kind of business arrangement, you also need time to kind of set some goals and reflect. And so we're kind of in that space right now.
You guys, we are taking a little hiatus, but not going away. We are just going to do a little reboot for 2024. And we are so excited about the things that we are working on. We have quite a big to-do list. So we are going to come back even better and bring it all to you even more. And we're just so excited about what the future holds. I think the listeners asking us for more has been such a positive, encouraging thing for us that has motivated us to keep going, that has motivated us to keep bringing you new episodes every other week. We really try to stick to that standard for you guys. I mean, the women that have come through, that people, I was so shocked that we didn't even ask for these women they came to us, a lot of them, and we got connected with just the most incredible women doing amazing things. And we're learning so much along this journey too. It's really inspiring. I mean, our guests inspire us so much.
It is. And I love when I'm just talking out there in the world with people I'm meeting and they're asking me, what's your podcast about? And as much as, sometimes I feel like, oh, I should just say, one thing, but really the stories that have come our way have been all the things that women want to talk about. And so, like you were saying, Greta, with like women coming to us and asking to be part of what we're doing, I mean, we're like, hey, we're not going to limit ourselves. We're just going to keep rolling with whatever comes our way. And we've done some other really awesome things like hosting retreats in person. I mean, that was another thing that we didn't really super envision that in the beginning. It was something else that just sort of got dropped on us, and we partnered with some people that are amazing to make it happen. We had somebody doing sound bowls. We had Coach Jackie, who was a guest. Yes. I mean, to see all this unfold the way it has, I'm even being asked recently if we can start hosting some sort of divorce type support group. Oh. I mean, like things just keep coming up.
That's new to me. That's funny for.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what's been fun about this is it's opening up all these different doors of opportunity. Greta and I are going to be speaking soon to a large group of mothers about how we even started on this podcast journey. And so I think for me, outside of even just sitting here behind a microphone and having our fun connections and conversations, we're actually doing work outside of the studio that is also really powerful. And it's only going to get better.
Only going to get better. We have big dreams. And like you said, with the retreats, it's funny because that wasn't even an initial goal. So, I just feel like the universe is going to guide us where we need to go and put the people, places, and things in front of us. And we're fucking ready for it. So
fucking ready. I mean, the psychic lady who we interviewed was like, hey, this is what the guides are saying.
Candace.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So everything that we've sort of even threw out there in the universe through very brief conversations have just started manifesting. And I think that's the other really cool thing about this journey that we're on is all the talks that we're having and the people that we're interviewing, we're putting into practice a lot of the things that are being discussed. And so as everything evolves, it's just been amazing to go, oh my gosh, remember that conversation we had back then? And now this is happening.
Yeah.
Remember that? And so today we thought we'd just spend a little time connecting with all of you and letting you know, here's some of our reflection and our thoughts and what we learned and what we want to do moving forward and just kind of keep everybody up to date.
Yeah, it definitely was a little bit of a rocky start, but we had fun along the way. It was like, I remember when we first were listening back to our recordings and thinking, oh, damn, I say a lot of likes and and oh my gosh, those, what do you call those, crutch words? They kind of just stuck out like a sore thumb. And it took a while to kind of just even get over hearing the sound of our own voices. And
all of that was big. Definitely crutch words, filler words. Yeah. And then we'd listen to Oprah and it's like, what the fuck? Like, she's not saying any of these things.
Doesn't have any.
How do we coach ourselves to not do that? Yeah. But I think in the beginning when we were editing our own stuff, that's when we really noticed. And that's when the coaching, almost like a self-coaching and us coaching each other kind of came through. And then as we went along, I mean, along the way, we got an editor.
Yes.
That was awesome.
So we have a team.
Yes.
And, we envision that team growing and, we don't know to what extent, but we're going to grow. That's where I see it going.
I do too. It was funny. I had a cousin visit from Montreal and she's like, ooh, can I be the girl that makes the cocktails in the back for all of your guests? And I'm like, gosh, we might need that one day. I mean,
well, we are going to bring a little bar cart in. That is something we've decided. So our studio, as we're growing, the studio is getting more glam and representing more of what That's My Girl is all about. So when our guests come, we want them to have a total luxurious, that's my girl experience. And, a little cocktail or two doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't. And that's, I think, the other thing too. I love that you just said about our guests having this experience. That has been one thing that has warmed my heart with us doing this, is outside of providing, a platform and having women speak their truth and their hearts. When they are here, I think one of the things you and I do a really good job at is letting people know that they are important and loved. And when they walk out of here, they feel empowered to even go beyond the sharing of their story. I had another friend who walked out of here and was like, oh my gosh, I think I want to start a podcast. And it's like, girl, fucking do it. I'll tell you how we got started. This is what we did. This is what we bought. You don't need to have a studio in your house.
Yeah.
These are the things that this whole thing is sparking for people.
Right. And I think that's so amazing. And I think when we set out to do this, we knew we were clear on our intention to empower women by sharing women's stories. But I just don't think that we were able to comprehend the magnitude or that ripple effect that would have, and the way it would come about, even for the guests we're interviewing that are telling their powerful, awesome stories. It is pretty remarkable. You can start out with an intention from a good, true place, which I think that's why this is working for us. Mm-hmm. But then you just really have no idea how far it's going to expand.
You don't. And so I think trusting in the process and not giving up.
Giving up. There were some hard times.
Oh, that's a big one. I mean, we are busy in life, and there have been so many things that could totally derail you and go, okay, we thought every Wednesday was going to be our day. And then that started shifting and it's like, oh shit, now we're actually doing, Monday, Friday, sometimes on a Sunday. And, we had to kind of work through that and go, okay, hey, what's working in our lives? Is this schedule working? Do we need to rein it in? Do we need to expand? Yeah. So there was a lot of even team connection type things that we had to move through.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, life kind of just can scoop you up and go in all these different directions. And so I think it was really crucial that you and I made That's My Girl podcast a top priority. I mean, of course, family is going to come first with both of
Absolutely.
us. That's priority number one. But we weren't going to let this just become a hobby and slip through our fingers, because we knew that it was something special that we've started.
Yeah.
And the encouragement from all our listeners has really been such a great motivation too.
It really has. And so we continue to encourage you in a way to encourage us. Please put your reviews out there. Please post, share the episodes that you really love. I mean, put it out there on your Facebook page or your Instagram. Tag us on things. All of that stuff just keeps the momentum going. We get excited. We did a couple lives.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Oh, that was fun and new and freaking scary as hell.
Totally.
I think we're due for another one.
We are. We totally are. And maybe during the holidays, we'll have some fun with that.
I think while we're on our little holiday hiatus, we will definitely pop in for some lives, and we'll definitely still be on social media. So
yeah,
you can always reach out.
Keep that going. We'll see. I mean, I don't even know, Greta. I just keep feeling like there's this pull for us to be doing something even greater. And I don't know where that is going to go.
Yeah.
But I'm open to it. And I freaking love that you looked at me and was like, I'm down to start a podcast if you are. And I'm like, yes, I am. Let's do this.
That's all it took, was both of us being like, we're in.
Yeah.
It's funny because we didn't know each other that long, and especially not on a professional level. We were girlfriends that got together and had wine and
walked and talked
and had coffee. We're not just drinking all the time.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Actually, we don't do much of that lately. Life has been so busy. But I learned that we are both really fucking determined women. And when we set out to do something, we are going to do it, and we're not going to give up. And so I'm just like, it wouldn't have worked otherwise. I mean, this is probably, I would say, just from outside looking in, like one of Michelle's busiest years of her life. She's got, two daughters that are just so involved with, school and sports. And it's that time where you got to drive them around everywhere and be at everything, and you're totally dedicated. And so it's a good thing. But yeah, it's you could have easily let this podcast slip by the wayside with everything you have going on. So.
But you know what? I think a big thing for me is I'm a big self-care girl, big time. And this, although sometimes, especially with technology piece, feels like work, and there are moments where it is taking out chunks of time, but at the end of the day, this fills my soul. And so that is me time, doing things that fill my soul. To me, that's self-care, because it's not bringing in added stress. It's not, I mean, yeah, do we have little moments where we're frustrated, or it's like, oh shit, I got to upload this and I got to hurry up and make the description, or, we're trying to communicate as quickly as we can through texts or calls. All of that still happens. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, this venture has just been something that has been so amazing. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to walk around when people are like, are you super busy? Hell yes, I'm super busy. And you know what else? I'm doing this podcast, and this podcast is so fun and amazing. And I get to be with you. I mean, that's the other big part of this, y'all. It's not just like, oh, I'm just behind a mic doing my own thing. Like, I get to hang out with my girlfriend, you know? That's a huge thing. And yes, we're both determined women. We both have passion that we bring to this. And so for me, there's so much that's wrapped up into That's My Girl than just the name or knowing it's a podcast or even bringing other women in. It's so many levels.
Very well said. Very well said. Yeah, I feel like it's more of a calling, and it's fulfilling something within us. And so that is like that juice that keeps us going.
It totally is. Yeah. And the other cool thing I think too that we have to mention is our family has been super supportive of us doing this. I mean, my husband sometimes is outside in the next room trying to get work done, and I have to close the door on him and tell him to be quiet on work calls because it's impacting our recordings. And he's like, no problem, and moves to another area or shuts it down or whatever has to be done. I mean, the kids know during this time, no, you don't, we can't take a call or we can't have a knock on the door. And it's fun to talk about. It's become conversation in our house and showing them that things are possible.
I know when we first started, I think there was a little nervousness from husbands like, well, what are you guys going to talk about?
Absolutely.
And probably from my almost adult teenagers too. Like, don't talk about me.
Right. Don't be posting all these things about me. Don't be saying all these things. We got some of that for sure. Yeah. But I think as everybody got comfortable and warmed up to what we're doing, it's just been this vehicle that's had its own wheels.
Yeah, a lot of support. A lot of I definitely am getting that feeling of pride from my husband, which feels great. I've done a lot of, because I'm a creative person, I have put my husband through it. I've dabbled in a lot of different creative ventures, and I do feel like this one just feels the most natural, the most like I'm home. Like this is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be here with Michelle. It just all feels right. And yeah, the continued encouragement from all of you, and hearing from my girlfriends that they listen to our podcast. I mean, I just would never even expect that. The support is amazing. We're friends and everything, but do you really want to listen to me talk for an hour? That's a lot.
We were just hanging out yesterday. Do you want to actually put me on your car or your AirPods right now? You know, but they do.
It amazes me how many of our actual friends and family listen.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. We love you. And it really means a lot. It means a lot.
It does. It's so touching. And I think maybe this year we got to bring the guys on this time.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't done that yet.
We need to.
I think we do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, to know the other half of who we are and what's going on in our homes from that angle, I think that would be really fun.
Well, you've heard plenty about them in the marriage episode.
Yes. Maybe even a little in the divorce episode. But yeah, so I think it's time to change it up just a bit and have you kind of get to know that side.
Well, they're not going to be regulars. Hell
no, they're not. No, they're not taking over.
No, and they would. I feel like
hell of takeover.
We let them. Yeah, it could go.
It's not happening.
No. Give the mic back.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we only have so many mics. So we're like, listen, we need one for other people coming in. You can't have your own. It just can't take it away. No, we'll figure it out, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. So we're going to continue to stay busy, even though you won't be getting your every other week episodes from us. Don't worry. We are charging ahead. We're gearing up. We have lots of plans for 2024. And we are just so grateful, happy, amazed that you guys have stuck with us for this year.
Yeah.
Our first year of the podcast.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you liked what you heard and we're your girls,
please share and add a review on iTunes so we can continue to grow our circle. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at That's My Girl Podcast.